All right, yo, what up? What's up, everybody? Ooh, that's the wrong corner image, right? What are we going with? No, we'll stick with that for today. Anyway, how you guys doing? My voice is not there. It's sort of there, half there, but I feel fine. So we're gonna rock and roll. Let's do this. I feel like we should hit up some of the small things that happened first before we jump into the NL West. I don't know what you guys think, but let's do it. Seeing a lot of good highs in here. High to Victoria. What's up to actions? Shooter McGavin's up in here today. Brian in Alberta is talking about where it's really cold. Sheesh. Actually, he was about to say today's like the first day that it didn't seem so bad here. Hey, Mom. All right. Couple happenings today, right? And then we'll get into the NL West. And we'll just run through them real quick. Herman Marquez, we didn't talk about this yet. Yo, Pops. Pops is here too. Yo, Pops. Speaking of Denver, Philip is in here. And this is a former Rocky. We're about to just, for 2 seconds, touch on Herman Marquez. There was a time that I thought if Herman could have been a free agent, he would have got like $100 million. But, you know, he had a Tommy John. When he first came back off the Tommy John, he looked good a couple years ago. And then it all kind of went south really fast. And 24 and 25 were lost years. So it was kind of weird. He did come back like gangbusters. He actually pitched against us, I think, with the Mets. You can see in that first 20 innings back off Tommy John in 23, 3 walks, 17 strikeouts. Like there was some remnants of old Herman in there, but then the last 2 years have been tough. He did throw 126 innings last year. So the Padres are going to sign him. Obviously, they've seen a lot of him in the division. And, you know, they're hoping, obviously, to re-unlock Herman. And this is the first time, obviously, not pitching in Coors. But, yeah, I mean, this is as bad of a savant page as you can have. So, I mean, he still throws fairly hard. He's never really been an extension guy. He's a gyro breaking ball guy, power breaking ball guy, swing and miss guy when he's right. But it's been a long time since he's been right. This is a lottery ticket, and we'll see. Buddy Black's over there now, so maybe that fed into it a little bit. But when he's right, he throws a really good death ball. This is a ground ball, I guess. Let's see. Little backup, doesn't get the call. But anyway, that's the first move. Savant should have a Coors, non-Coors filter. I totally agree. Totally agree. They should have an altitude adjuster. I think that would help people understand things a lot more. So we'll definitely get into the Padres in a little bit because they're on our list, obviously being in the NL West. But I wanted to touch on that one. This was truly minor league signing season today. It's crazy because you know, camp has started, so now people are basically like, yeah, I couldn't get that big league deal. Nobody's budging, so it's time to move forward and get signed and go to spring training and go play ball. Like Drew Smith, my buddy, I was talking to him the other day. He had 4 teams on him. No team was going big league deal. He hadn't pitched in 18 months, so it was like trying to find the right landing spot. So he ends up going to my friend Drew Smith, former Met, close buddy of mine, ends up going to the Nationals. So it's like, just to give you a little look-see at what we were looking at, you know, when I was talking to him about where to go. I won't talk about the other teams, but like you're looking at this bullpen, Beater, Henry, Poulin, Fernandez, Rutledge, Lovelady, Varland, McGarry. It's not guys that don't have talent, but you look at the service time. Richard Lovelady is the high water mark on the projected bullpen at 3 years, 52 days. So that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a situation like this where you can get yourself on the back end, pitch really well, get in an awesome cushy role like closer. If you're your old self like Drew can be, and then get traded at the deadline, and then you're back. But you know, some of the other teams you would look at, it's like, is this team good? Should we even value that right now? It's really more about reps. So it's interesting, depending on what situation guys are in, they're looking for different things. Like, for example, another buddy of mine, Mike Talkman, just signed with the Mets, and he'll compete in that right field, fourth outfielder mix. And Talk's a good player. So he's probably going to be listed in here somewhere. Well, I guess it's not maybe official yet, but he's going to be in here. So I don't know. I thought it was crazy that he didn't get a major league deal. But again, you get down to this time of the year, and you can't really afford to not be in camp. So anyway, here's Talkman, former teammate with both the Rockies and the Yankees. Big time on base guy, runs a really good chase rate, gets on base with walks, also plays some good defense. The metrics might not show it here, but he's a very savvy, smart player. Tough guy to face in a big spot. Uses the whole field. Very cerebral hitter. Jared's on it. The sock man can still play. And I think he's got a good shot at making the roster. I mean, then this way they don't necessarily have to go bench right away. They might. But for my money, I think he's a much better offensive player than Tyrone Taylor. I don't know if he can compete with him defensively anymore, but Talkman's a pretty good defender when he's right. Sprint speed's really tailed off. He's dealt with some injuries. Really, I think about his breakout year with the Yankees in 2019 when we played together. Hurt his calf late in that year. It's been tough since then. But you look at the on bases, they're consistent. 363, 357, 356 last 3 years. Foolish Bailey did a whole video on him. If you guys have seen it, he appreciates him. So I think this is a great move. I mean, shit, you can get a guy on a minor league deal. You don't have to guarantee him anything. You got to look-see in spring training, and he might be exactly what you need, you know? And really, he was pretty dang good looking 23 and 24. Last year, he was hurt, but still productive. So, yeah, he gets on base. You guys are on it. But that's what it is right now. I was looking through these signings earlier, and there's just a ton of them from earlier today. Of course, now I don't see them here, but there was a ton of them, I'm telling you. Pablo Lopez is ominous, going to get hurt. He might be hurt, so we'll see. There was some more. See, here's Drew Smith. I love that Michelle Margot broke that. That's awesome. She's great. Oh, Jared, you're up in here today, buddy. He'll hit, he'll field. This is the kind of guy who's never gotten the respect he deserves. He'll get a chance to shine with the Mets. I mean, I think he's they are, you know, they're running, they have a very intriguing team now. They have a lot of good on base. Talkman would play well. Early, like ahead of the boppers. He really would. He gets on base. He's tough. 360 on base with okay defense. Honestly, it's a little probably better than okay if he's healthy. But, I mean, I've seen this guy play some sick outfield. Granted, he's no spring chicken anymore like he was, but we'll see. A lot of like minor things happening. This Josh Simpson, who had been DFA'd, I believe last week by the Rays, goes to the Mariners. It seems like the Rays and the Mariners are always hooking up. Santiago Espinal, Dodgers minor league deal. So here's a minor league deal. This guy was at one point a starter for the Blue Jays, second base. Adam Frazier, minor league deal. Longtime starter. Now he's kind of been bouncing around. Contact hitter. Pirates, Orioles, etc. Royals, I believe. Let me double check Adam Frazier's destinations over his career. Yeah, Roy, I got it. Pirates. Oh, there was a Padres here too. 15.4 WAR though, solid. I mean, he had a 101 OPS plus last year in only 56 games. No, never mind. He didn't hit as well with Pittsburgh, but he put up 1.4 WAR last year. Just shows you like it's pretty hard to get a big league deal. And really, this is kind of the way it goes. They run out the clock on you. Ooh, Ozuna. Did we ever talk about Ozuna much in their lineup with the Pirates? I like it. I mean, they had to do it. They had to go for it. Here's Ty France. Ty France was a Blue Jay last year. So, yeah. I mean, again, another pretty solid baseball player. Although he was pretty bad last year. 681 OPS. Although he is known as an outstanding defender, correct? Didn't we saw that and that shocked the crap out of us earlier in the year when we were looking at defenders? Ty France. Yeah. 10 outs above average. 96th percentile on defense. It's unreal. Mark Hanna, the top banana, minor league deal with the Rangers. I think my guy Mark struggled a bit last year. But you see, like, this is kind of what the middle tier guys who were big leaguers and then maybe 15 years ago would have just continued to get deals and continue to play because they have experience. Now it's just like the metrics don't like you. We're not giving you, we're giving you a minor league deal. We'll bring you to spring training. Yeah, Mark had a tough go. Only 125 plate appearances last year. So these numbers are not a reflection of Mark. But it doesn't matter whether they are or not. Yeah, there's been a decline metrically in ex-WOBA and things of that nature. So, Rangers get to look at him for free. I saw a picture of him walking in with Nimmo today. So those boys are back together, which is kind of funny. Adam Frazier, speaking of guys who smoke darts during games. Okay. Former All-Star Santiago Espinal, that is. Thank you, my love. 150th stream today. As you can see, we switched the logo up into spring training mode. Yes, we are at 150. Very cool. This time next year, it's scary to think it'll be like 400 and something probably. But this is great. Canna had an injury, rehab, DFA'd by the Royals. Yeah, so he was hurt. He's also an on-base guy. Interesting hitter who thinks a lot about mechanics. I never thought that you could be that mechanically oriented as he tends to be and still compete in the box, but he does it. Also really good at getting hit by pitches. Did I mention that? Go Bells. Canna went to my high school. I love Mark though. Great dude. Ty France is a great signing by the Friars. So wait, I didn't even look at who signed him. I was just like, oh, so it's the Padres. Okay, so they have him. They just got Castellanos for the minimum. Jack Sawinski got DFA'd. AJ Preller gets an extendamundo with the Padres. Hello?
Daddy.
Hi.
My TV's not working. Again.
Okay.
I need help.
I can't do anything about it. I'm on the stream.
Mom said to go ask you.
Well, it's the Wi-Fi, so just hotspot it to your phone.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jared. You're funny. Oh my God, that was you, Brett? You sent them down here? Ridiculous. This is a good question. Why is Gio still out there? I do think Gio's probably the best remaining free agent, right? I think the Braves seems like that seems like a destination to me. Somebody's going to need a guy who makes the starts. It sucks. I remember when I signed with the Red Sox last year, talking to Gio in the lunchroom, like in the breakfast room, like first day. He's like, damn, minor league deal? He's like, didn't you strike out like 11 guys per 9 last year? I was like, close. Like, it wasn't my best year, but like, yeah. He's like, man, what is this? What is happening? Like, I thought you're definitely got a major league deal with a good team. I'm like, well, you'll see. This is kind of how it goes. So what am I looking for? Free agent tracker? Yeah, free agent tracker. I mean, all the big guys are signed. There he is, Gio. Patrick Corbin, Zach Littell is another one. And I know that my guy, Carl Triano has been big on Zach Littell. He's another one. But yeah, I mean, everybody here is signed. Ramon Urias, Justin Wilson, Rhys Hoskins. I feel like he signed somewhere, minor league deal, right? Starling Marte, Danny Coulomb, Max Kepler. We don't know you for a while. Scherzer. But yeah, I feel like Gio's out there. I don't know what's going to happen with Gio. See what Victoria's got here. I heard Buster on the radio the other day when asked about his bullpen. He claimed bullpen pitchers don't have to be figured out before the start of the season. Your thoughts? I mean, you'd like to have some certainty out there, but in this day and age, he's going to have enough guys with enough stuff to send out there on opening day regardless. So will it be a great bullpen? The answer is nobody really knows. But I also think people have a really hard time evaluating relief pitchers in general. And Buster might be no exception to that. Oh yeah, Bueller's still out there. That's true. No one knows what we're going to get with Walker, but I do feel like he pitched a little bit better at the very tail end of the year. We took a minute to look at Walker the other day, right? So, yeah, these are probably like Littell, Giolito, Walker Buehler, Patrick Corbin are all guys that should be able to provide innings to a team. It's just like who's going to bite the bullet. And I think Gio commands the most dollars, maybe Littell. I don't know. Anyway, 10 and 7, 4.93, 24 starts. He was better with Philly, correct? Let's see. Yeah, I mean 13 and 2/3, only one run. Did have 6 walks, 8 strikeouts. You know, so that's a little probably benefited from a little bit of luck there. But yeah, I mean, that was better. Finished the season better. Stuff wise, still averaging 94 on the four seam. It's just crazy. I remember when this guy just basically was a four seam beast. Voice is just saying Bueller, Bueller, and no team is responding. I continue to say Bueller should explore relieving. I do think there's a world in which he could be electric out of the pen, but you got to give it one more shot here. He's really taken a lot of time to expand his arsenal. I mean, if we were to go back in time, I'd love to see his arsenal. Let me see what his arsenal was in the year 2018 when he ended our season. Well, not our season, but he squashed our Rockies' one and only hopes of winning a division in game 163 when he shoved it up our ass. Excuse my language. 2018, 40.7% four seam, and the league hit 176 off that, averaging 96.2. Then he threw a sinker 18.9% of the time, and the league hit 217 off that. So all fastballs. I mean that's north of 60%. Right around 60% share of his pitches were fastballs. Then gyro slider at 87 with a huge whiff rate. Yeah, 30% whiff rate. And then the knuckle curve. So it was 2 breaking balls. He had these other pitches, cutter, changeup, but they were only kind of part of the deal. It's mostly fastballs, but his fastball was so good. 30.5% whiff rate on a four seam is pretty freaking electric. And yes, I agree with you in here. He was definitely a sticky guy. I mean, no doubt about it. But it's just crazy to see that he's now a complete kitchen sink pitcher, is my point. But I don't know. I don't know who signs these guys. Atlanta needs a guy, clearly. Atlanta's got the injury bug bad with the starting rotation. Anyway, here's Gio. Much better year last year results-wise. 145 innings with a 3.41, 26 starts. He did have a weird freak thing that happened, and he didn't get to pitch in the postseason, which kind of sucks. He's kind of still the same guy, more sliders than he used to throw, but it's the four seam, it's the carry changeup with the big speed separation, the short arm. He's had times where he's been outstanding, he's had times where he's been shitty, but generally he's out there. I mean, you see the innings the last few years, so he's got value. And then Littell, who might be the best pitcher of this group, potentially. I mean, he had a 1.10 whip last year and 186 and 2/3. And really, back-to-back years, it's been quality plus quantity from this guy. And this is the ultimate thing that I'm surprised the models don't really love him with the 4.2% walk rate, because that really helps that raises your floor a lot when you're not going to beat yourself. Xwoba doesn't like him. I just don't think they like his stuff very much. But that walk rate's been consistent. Look at that, 100th percentile, 94th percentile, 98th percentile. Let me go look at that Braves real quick because they are definitely bleeding pitchers. Schwellenbach on the 60-day IL. Who knows what you're getting from Saylor at this point? I mean, I love Sale. He's one of my favorite pitchers all time, but 37 years old. Strider, we've talked about him. We have no idea what we're getting. Lopez was injured most of last year. Holmes and Elder are kind of mid. So, yeah, this is a team with big ambitions. Waldrop just went down. Schwellenbach went down. They need to do something here. So I expect them to be one of the teams. Somebody else throw some names at me so I can think about it team-wise. What causes somebody's stuff to take such a sharp decline, come back for a bit, and then leave again? It's complicated. Health is a complicated thing in baseball. Um, things can ebb and flow for sure. My velocity did that. It's a journey because you play so many games. Sometimes you have an issue that can't be addressed mid-season, and then you're able to address it in the off season, and then you come back and you're a different player. You have a little more, um, maybe you fixed whatever thing was ailing you, but you were still out there pitching before. But now you feel good again, and everything's back and optimized. You made some adjustments, and then you go through a huge workload again, and more attrition, take on more water, and maybe your stuff starts to go south again. And then, I mean, it's all going to be a cycle. But I think the big thing to remember that a lot of people don't probably think about is like there's no time to practice in the season. There's too much baseball. You have a game every freaking day. Even now in spring training, when you used to show up and kind of groove into it, I mean, shit. Let me just show you something real quick. We'll take a 2-second detour to illustrate the type of absurdity that you watch in spring training every day. This is Carlos Lagrange, who I found out that's how you say his name, striking out Judge today with a 102.6 mile an hour fastball here. So guys are showing up, throwing 102 in spring training. And Judge had to step in the box. Like this is like his 4th day in camp. So there's no time to all you can do is make micro adjustments. I think the game's all about adjustments, daily adjustments. What can you do one day to the next day to the next day to the next day, and constantly manage the long-term and short-term needs of yourself and your team and your teammates. But when you got a guy coming in throwing $102 in spring training, there's no time to work on stuff. Like it's just crazy. Anyway, a lot going on in the background here. Just to point it out, we got Andy Pettit over here. We got Booney over here, loving it. We got Osmus over here. This is the coolest thing in the world. They get to stand back there. They got a DJ who's playing music now. They're in the main stadium, Steinbrenner Field, doing these live BPs. There's fans there. It's a totally different experience. Like originally the thought was you do these things on the backfield, so they're kind of in a calm, controlled environment. But now it's like everybody's all gassed up and juiced. So it's very different. What's up?
How do you get to settings on the TV?
You hit the home button, and then the menu comes up, and you scroll left until you see the little wrench, the little nut thing for settings. Then you click that, you go to network settings, and then from there you have to put your hotspot on and connect to your hotspot. And if not, just like do a Google or a TikTok search.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh my God. You would think they would know this stuff better than me. Anyway, I want to take that quick detour just to say spring training is crazy, and there's really no time to practice. You have to make micro adjustments every day. So anyway, fastball percentage between four seam, sinker, cutter, still about 60%. Is this on Walker? I mean, ultimately, I think he doesn't know who he is without pitching off of his fastball. But you are right. I mean, yeah, I guess so. 25% four seam, 17% cutter. So do the math there. That's 42% plus another 16. Yeah, almost 60%. You're right. Good call, Phil. But the four seam, I mean, the four seam being 25% shows you that it's a way different ball game. When he was throwing that thing 40 or more percent and getting 30% whiff on it, that's a big difference from where he's at now. I wonder, let's just do a sticky investigation for 2 seconds. I don't mean to single out Walker here because my spin rate dropped as well, lowered as well. But I want to do a little spin rate investigation. Okay, four seamers. So in 2017, he was at 24.51. That's a very high spin rate for a four seamer. Next year, 24.15. Next year, 24.56. Next year, this is 2020. Remember, I told you this is when it got spicy. 2020, 2021 went to another level, 25.46. That's upper echelon spin rate. And then the crackdown happens midway through 21. So then you can just take the numbers and kind of wash those out a little bit because there was probably sticky and then a reduction of sticky. And then the next year, first full year, no sticky, 22.67. So he loses about 2 to 250 RPM on the fastball. And just makes a huge difference. It just makes a huge difference. Um, Let me look at something. Induced vertical break on his fastball by season. Here's the four seam. So there it is. It was over 20 when he first came up, but that's probably just a small sample. Then hovered right around 18 for 2018, 2019, which is elite with the velo. Then up over 19 in 2020. And then you see it starting to creep back down, 18, and then all the way down to 17 in 2022. And now he's kind of stuck there between 16 and 17. It's not like a bad four seam, but it's not elite anymore in a lot of ways. So that's we take a little detour just to see that. But yeah. So again, all those guys are going to be out there on the market, and we'll see where they go, and who's able to probably get them for deals that they didn't want in the first place. But yep, that's pretty much it for the initial stuff. It's all, like I mentioned, this is like very panicked signing season. Guys are getting hurt early in camp. Needs change. Moves happen. Guys getting claimed off waivers. Shelby Miller signed a 2-year rehab deal recently with the Cubs, so we don't have to worry about that. But he'll rehab all this year. And anyway, that's kind of where we're at. So let's get back in the chat here. I'm going to zip forward a little bit, and then we'll get into the NL West. Buehler just hurled 10 shutout postseason innings with 13 whiffs 2 years ago, and then went back to the 5 ERA guy he's been. I do think in the bullpen, he can let it eat a little differently, and he can go to his A game more often. I think he struggles when he has to pitch out there, and it's not because he doesn't have the shapes. I think it's that he struggles a little bit with the execution. Execution's tough. Execution rate is honestly like that's what determines whether you make it to your ceiling or not. And the years that we execute out there as pitchers usually they go pretty well, but it's easier said than done. And if you don't have that really clicking, even with your good stuff, it might not be enough. San Francisco could be another team that needs an arm. Let's check out what they have. I know that they made a couple signings, but I don't think they're necessarily donezo yet. Logan Webb, Robbie Ray, Tyler Mahle. I mean, Mahle has a little bit of an injury question mark. Hauser was great last year. I actually feel pretty confident about him. Rube, I mean, they could use another pitcher for sure. I don't know if they're going to dip back in or not, but they had Latella in the past. Wasn't he I think he was a reliever for them. What age do position players typically start to decline? Unfortunately, it's a lot earlier than we realize. But like the weird thing about declining is like your intelligence in the game is like, and your awareness and your radar is like going up while your physical tools are going down. So at some point there's like a moment where you're like pretty high on both and you're like, that's your peak. But then the physical tools go down. You still get smarter. So some guys in certain positions can, like a Kyle Schwarber, or there's been a lot of it. There's plenty of examples of guys who thrived in their 30s as position players. Mostly it's because they became so good at hitting. But physically, I mean, it does seem like guys decline quick. Guys get to the big leagues with sprint speed, and it goes away fast for the most part. Just go see Bo Bichette, for example. A lot of guys, though. All right, what else we got? Braves aren't deep with prospects either. Angels, I mean, I can't predict anything to the Angels because who the freak knows, How should you feel as a fan when you have pitchers throwing that hard in February? I mean, just obviously, if you're a Yankee fan, you're going to be excited about this LaGrange guy. He's pumping cheese. He's moved up the prospect boards really, really quickly as of late. He's now the number 2 prospect for the Yankees. He's coming in guns blazing, and it's tantalizing. You look at that, and you're like, man, geez, we really want him to be a starter. But also, why not throw him in the bullpen right now? He'll dominate, So, my bad, I didn't share my screen there. So, I don't know. It's exciting. He's only been in up to AA, so we'll see what they do with him this year. Pretty good chance, though. He's coming in hot. He's coming in hot, and the fastball obviously is no joke. So what else we got here? Did you like my tech support work, guys? Go on other days where players slow roll into spring training. They've been playing catch since November, December, and he's battling to break camp with some adrenaline going versus MVP Judge. Yes. It's just so different as an older player. You come in and it's hard not to be kind of blown away by the young guys in camp. The reality is most of these guys, and I'm not saying it's Legrand by any means, but you do see a lot of spring training heroes, guys that are doing everything they can to impress in spring training, and then like in the season they're not nearly as impressive. But that doesn't mean it's not still a whole different world now, because it is. Like I'm out there throwing my 87, 88, 89 in my bullpen trying to locate, mix it up, and there's a guy next to me that I've never heard of throwing 97. So it's just a weird dynamic, you know. Asa Lacy, I haven't heard this name in a while. I don't know. I've not heard this name in a while. I don't think he's a prospect anymore, right? No. How are you supposed to spell that? I don't think he's playing. He's 26, but he's still around. He had injuries. I don't know. I don't know if he's in camp or not. That's an interesting question. I don't know. Besides any potential sticky stuff with Bueller, I think it's a perfect example of why a comeback from Tommy John surgery isn't as guaranteed as we've all come to think. I mean, you're pretty much not guaranteed to pitch well. That's for sure. Also, the game changes in the time you're gone. Like the level is constantly rising, especially for pitchers. Seems like the bar just keeps going up. So you're losing out on a whole year. Wow, I'm showing Big Steve here. You're losing out on like a whole year, like of opportunity to get better. So, um, and you have to find a way to get better in the year that you're not pitching, whether that's a physical thing, changing your delivery, changing your mentality, learning a new pitch, getting mental reps, whatever. You gotta come back a different guy, a better guy. You can't come back the same guy. Bradley and Oakley, can you ask Dad if he can help fix the hyperdrive on the Millennium Falcon? No, Chewbacca's working on that in the back, Jared. Yeah, we talked about Goldie. I mean, he crushes lefties. So the Yankees needed a righty bat badly. Just did the math. A fastball traveling between 95 and 100 takes approximately 0.4 seconds across the plate, meaning a fastball with a spin rate of 2,200 rotates 14.7 times, while one at 2,500 rotates 16.7 times. So 2 additional rotations. It's a big difference. It's a big difference. You don't remember Littell talking shit to Kapler when he yanked him a few years ago? Yeah, that was in San Fran. Yeah. That's what I was saying. He was with the Giants. He was a reliever then. Mookie's sprint speed evaporated. Do you think teams would have more success in finding prospects if they shared info on player development? I don't know about that. That's a weird question. I'm not sure. 10 of 10 tech support. Thank you. Do I think Mookie will post another sub 800 OPS? All right. Well, this leads me to getting into our National League West. So let's get into the National League West. We'll start with the Dodgers. Obviously, they're the favorite. Somebody needs to put in the chat what projection system I should look at, like wins projections. I know Fangraphs has them, right, with like zips or whatever, and a couple other things. MLB standings projections. I mean, not that I really care about these at all, but let's see what Fangraphs has. Yeesh, what is this? Oh, yeah. Okay, so NL West. This isn't what I'm trying to look at. I want to see the standings. I mean, I guess I can see it here. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Scroll down, Adam. All right. So they have the Dodgers projected to win 97 games and run away with the joint, right? It all makes sense. We've seen their lineup. It's a joke. Pacoda's one. Fangraphs is probably best. Okay, thanks. All right. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about the Dodgers. They're back-to-back champs. They're going for 3 in a row. Shohei, Mookie, Tucker, Freeman, Smith, Muncy, Teoscar, Pajes, and Kim with Rushing, Freeland, Rojas, and Call, and Kike coming back at some point. And they'll probably upgrade if they need to along the way. Somebody here?
Yeah. Again, it's still not working.
Well, what'd you do?
So I went to network and it worked for a second, and then it said I had to sign in, and I was at the password, and I was looking at your text because you said like our Netflix password while we were texting, and I was about to write the password in, and all my progress was gone, and now Netflix isn't letting me back.
Because right now you have to be connected to the TV on your through your hotspot.
Well, I don't know how to do that.
It's not hard. When you go to search for the networks, like you go to wireless network.
Yeah.
Like as if you were searching for wireless network on the TV, it would look exactly like this, where it would give you all the networks.
Okay.
And then you'd be looking for your phone.
To Land of Sweets.
We're connected to
You know
Land of
what it is?
Sweets.
You probably don't have so it would say Bradley's hotspot. And then you're going to connect to that.
Well, how? Because it only says we're connecting to Land of Sweets, and when we try
you don't want to connect to Land of Sweets. You want to connect to the hotspot.
I know. But how do we connect to the hotspot? How do we switch it?
You have to search for networks, and then you find the hotspot.
We switched.
Did you find Bradley's phone?
No, because it only said Land of Sweets, and when I turned it off, it said Wi-Fi.
You can search for more. Go try again.
Okay.
Go look for other networks, and leave that page open on your phone. Okay. This is ridiculous. Okay, so I mean, look, and the rotation: Yamamoto, Snell, Glasnow, Ohtani, Sheehan, Sasaki. There's River Ryan. There's a million other dudes. Tommy Edmonds gonna get healthy and come back later. The bullpen got better with Edwin. Like, there's nothing. There's no weakness on this team whatsoever. They even have Phillips that's going to come back midseason and be a factor. If they can get Gratterall healthy, that's even more the merrier. They have prospects coming. Their minor league signings are a joke. Nick Senzel, Santiago Espinal, like we just talked about. Keston Hiura, Ryan Fitzgerald. All these NRIs, Zaire Hope, Jose DePaula, Mike Sirota, like plenty of guys, like Cole Irvin, Gavin Stone, Landon Knack. Like, it's the deepest team ever. Like, there's no way. I'm not a bettor at all, and I don't like sports gambling, but it's just like, how are they not going to win the division? You know, I don't see any way. I don't see any way that they don't win the division. As for Mookie, do I think that he can bounce back? I would never doubt Mookie Betts. I mean, look, this is a man who went from Gold Glove right fielder to 91st percentile outs above average shortstop in his 30s. So I would never doubt Mookie. Plus, there's some good metrics in here. I mean, look at the squared up rate, look at the chase rate, look at the whiff rate, look at the K rate, look at the walk. They're all good. He does a lot of things really well at the plate, despite having bad results last year. I do think athletically he might be declining a touch, but that's pretty natural. I'd be curious to see how he bounces back this year, because this was by far his worst showing results-wise, maybe ever. 732 OPS this year. Obviously 2 years ago where he was unbelievable in 23, hitting 39 home runs with a 987 OPS. Let's go look here. So you look way back in time. The last time that he was a hitter similar in total overall xWOBA was 2016-2017 with the Red Sox. It's just less barrels, so just not quite catching the mistakes like he should have. Bat speed's getting really low though. This could be a concern, and we don't have the data on it beforehand. But 13th percentile here, 10th percentile last year, 38th in 23. It's not. He's never going to be spectacular, but every little bit matters. But then you see the speed drop off, right? So last 2 years, he's now firmly in the bottom, 36th percentile or lower. So there's some physical things, but obviously still able to play. Obviously still able to play shortstop. So I don't know. Like, I'd need to know more information. What's Lifted got here? I think the hand fracture did a number on his bat speed. For the team previews, want to pick one guy that will surprise to upside for each team. Yeah, sure, we can do that. 10%, yeah, so you're seeing it. But I don't know what his bat speed was before 2023, where he was at 38th percentile. Probably never had great bat speed, I'm guessing, but 10th percentile is pretty low. Mookie, if he avoids that medical issue at the start of the season, should be back. I kind of agree with this. I mean, obviously, they have to take their opponents seriously once they reach the postseason, but this is the rare team in MLB that can roll their gloves out there, and they will make the playoffs, no matter what. This team is such a joke that I'm excited for the Mets to face them as an underdog just to see what they can do to take them down. I mean, it is. They are a juggernaut. I mean, now you add Tucker to them, it's just going to be interesting to watch the offense work. Robleski, Stone, Ryan is pretty much every other rotation. What else we got here? He also had the sickness. Yeah. He lost 15, 20 pounds at the start of the season. Yeah, I mean, I know the narratives behind it. We'll see. I mean, Mookie's not doing WBC. Let's see how he comes out the gate this year. I mean, he's got a lot to prove. So it's going to be intriguing. Feels like wherever there's a team with this much probability to win, everyone else plays out of their mind when they play them. So, I mean, there's no doubt about this, Z. Like, when you're a team that's like, I think of like the old Miami Heat or the Warriors, 73-9 Warriors. It's like, it's almost harder because every team does get more locked in against you. Not that you don't try every night, but you definitely know when you're playing the Dodgers, you got to bring your A game. So they're getting every team's A game. I agree with that premise generally. I do. I mean, I know for me, you can't help but be a little more jacked up facing the best teams. Tucker should hit leadoff. There's a thought. They have Mookie hitting leadoff these days, right? No, Shohei, that's right. What am I talking about? So you think Tuck should hit leadoff and then what? Move Shohei down? I love the Shohei leadoff dynamic because it's just so... He's just so good. He's their best hitter. So it's like... you have to face them at the top of every order. I do think it's important getting guys on base for when the order flips around for Shohei the second and third times through. But for starting the game off with a beast in the leadoff spot, like a George Springer, Acuna, Altuve, Ohtani, those types of guys, like that shit's scary. Alfonso Soriano being the OG back in the day. Who stands out as a guy who had bat speed that immediately blew you away? Bat speed's a hard thing to notice in real time. I think you notice more guys that are quick to balls inside, but a lot of that's probably tied to arm length and anticipation. Pure bat speed, I mean, it usually correlates really well with the guys who can hit the ball the furthest. I've mentioned this guy on the stream before, but like Franchi Cordero was a guy who I played with who like he swung and missed a lot, but like when he hit it, it was just different. He hit a ball off Zach Wheeler in 21 that was different. Like it went like over the visiting bullpen in Philly. So I don't know. From a pure bat speed perspective, guys like that, Matt Holliday when he was young is just so strong. So Dodgers this season have Death Star vibes more than any prior year. I agree, especially because they've won the 2 in a row. So they're going for that immortality now with the 3 in a row. And that's a good thing for baseball, in my opinion. I agree. I love having the team to try to take down. Robolewski was asked on Foul Territory, is it better to be an option guy in the Dodgers, a rotation guy in another team? You could tell his heart was pulling him, but he's PR trained and said the Dodgers. Yeah, I mean, he didn't know what to say there. And honestly, how would he know? He wouldn't know. If Dodgers win this year, who you taking? Dodger 3-peat versus Yankee 3-peat team. Pretty hard to argue with the 98, 99, 2000 Yankees. But, the game's changed so much. This Dodger team would probably overwhelm them. But different eras. And this is important to remember here from Jared. The Death Star, if you don't remember, did not work out twice. It is true. There was a slight defect in the plans twice. So surely the Rebels would not be able to figure that out, but they did. All right, so for the Dodgers, who am I going to pick as my surprise guy to take a step forward or to be a guy? I mean, shit. Most of these guys are expected to be good. I'm going to say this is the year that either Ben Kasparius or maybe even Bobby Miller can get themselves back somewhere. They've got good stuff. What happened to Kasparius last year? I thought his stuff was really good when we faced him the previous year in the postseason. He ends up with a 464 in 46 games, only 3 starts. I mean, obviously, he'd be getting more opportunity other places, but this guy's got really good shit. He's got just really good shit. I think he could be a guy. And a lot of people don't talk about him, but I think he could be a guy. If I wanted to connect my TV to the internet via hotspot, how would I do that? I've already explained it to my daughters, and my daughter and my niece, and they still don't seem to get it. So you would think they would know how to do it. Kasparius, Northeast guy, Yukon arm. I've always liked him when I watched him, and I think he's a little bit underrated. I mean, even this year, last year, he clearly got unlucky. 3.71 expected ERA, ends up with a 4.64 ERA. He still contributed 77 and 2/3 innings. I think there's more in there. As for Bobby Miller, it's been a disaster, but it can't be a disaster forever. He's got good shit. Sits 97. He's got a good changeup. Big pedigree. I mean, he put together some level of dominance, honestly, with a 1.10 whip in 2023. I'm not giving up on Bobby yet. What can Kasparius do to improve his ground ball problem? Okay. So, I can see why he has a ground ball problem. High arm slot. It's a cut carry type of fastball. This pitch is going to always lend itself to fly balls. He's throwing it at the top of the zone all day. This is a great question, Darth Zemo, and I love your alias as well. Anything with Darth in it, we're all about that. So he's got that. He's got a cutter. He's got a sweeper. Sweeper tends to be not that ground ball. Kind of a fly ball pitch in a lot of ways. Curveball should generate him some ground balls. So the question is, do they have him throw more sinkers? Probably not, but he's got nothing that goes the other way. Oh, that's a good sinker off of the 4-seam. So maybe there's the answer, but I don't know if he'll commit to it or not. This was actually a sneaky good sinker, guys. Let's watch this again. This is where you would want to locate it right on right. Bink. So, yeah, I mean, maybe a sinker or a changeup, something like that. Curveball will get some balls on the ground, but you're right. His arsenal is not built for that. His arsenal is built for strikeouts and fly balls, but weak contact, weak fly balls. Here's the cutter. Trying to work that up into the lefty. Ooh, gets him to swing over the top of it. Let's see this. Let's see the sweeper. That's dirty. And at 86. Okay, I want you guys to see something real quick. Watch Ben here. So Ben starts with his... this isn't the dugout app, so this kind of annoys me because I can't draw on it as well. But if you watch Ben, his right foot is on the third base side of the rubber here, and then he is going to swing it all the way with this move right here to the first base side. The only person I've ever seen really do this consistently is Houston Street. Kind of a weird move, though, starting over there and then repositioning before then coming downhill. But that is a vicious breaking ball. That's every bit as good as Trinan Sweeper. So, I mean, that's really what I like about him is he throws hard. He's got a good sweeper. He also has a really good curveball. This is just going to be a ball in the dirt, but this ball's got good drop. So, one of the reasons why I'm high on Kasparius, he just has good spin talent. You know, he knows how to make good shapes with his spin. What is his spin rates? Yeah, they're great. Great spin rates. Over 3,000 on both breaking balls. So, I'm high on him because of those factors. All right, Miller's movement seems to be a concern, and he sweats tying his laces. Well, that's not a great sign, but Bobby Miller, I mean, who knows where the mentality's at now, honestly? Who knows? Because these last 2 years have been nothing short of a disaster. I mean, you think you're a Dodger starter, and now you're not. So it's tough, but it's gonna be fascinating if he can bounce back and if he can get himself mentally there. It's not that easy. Can I pick a guy who I think will underperform? Sure, let's do that. Who am I slightly down on the Dodger roster? If I had to pick one guy to be a little bit disappointing, I'm actually tempted to pick Edwin, as great as I think he is, just because he does have a little bit of moments in his game where he just kind of loses it. And, you know, change of scenery, you never know. You could see it going haywire because we've seen it before, but I don't want to make that my official pick because I just love Edwin too much, and I think that he's so nasty that even if he's bad, I'll probably have a 3. You know, bad Edwin is usually a 3, so it's fine. I think Roki, man. I'm a little worried about Roki. We talked about him. I don't know how he's going to be able to hack it in this rotation. So I'm a little worried that Roki won't take the step forward and it will be another, ultimately confusing season. I could see that being the case. But I think my ultimate pick is going to be Muncy. And the reason why my pick is going to be Muncy is just because I think he's starting to get a little old. And defensively, I think he's going to be in a little bit of trouble soon. He can still rake. But sooner or later, the physical stuff's going to get to Muncy. Sooner or later. So I know he still bangs, but that's my prediction. And that this is the first year where he's in the 700 OPS, high 700s, and then the range continues to be poor. And then now you're wondering what to do with him a little bit, even though they already extended him. I know it's not a lot of money. And I think he's a great hitter. His swing decisions will continue to be great. Obviously, he can lay in the weeds in this lineup. It's a luxury to be in this lineup. But that's my prediction. He'll have like a 780 OPS, and he'll be a good player, but he won't be the same player. How's that? How'd I do there? This is about Kasparius, heavy supinator screaming for a kick change or a seam shifted splitter or something. Yeah, I don't see why he couldn't throw some decent version of a kick change or a splinker or a split or just the sinker we saw was fine, you know. Oh yeah, Luis Garcia did that too. You're right, he did do the move with the foot. Good point. Yeah, surprise late show, Kev. My it just made more sense today with what we had going on. Bobby Miller could learn a thing or two from Zach Veen. If you know, you know. I don't know. Does he have a substance abuse problem? I don't know. I feel like the Padres have been edging ever since they signed Machado. Seems like they have the talent. They're going to be the next team we're probably going to talk about. But, Jared, you want me to go against Shohei here? I can't do it, but the thing about the Hae-Sung Kim is like I don't have high expectations for him. So, we'll see. Diaz now has pressure to be good. Cobra's going to pick Glass now, so it's an injury thing. Kev seems the Roki possibility. Obviously, Maya is mad about the Diaz stuff. Do I think Tanner will bounce back? Yeah, he's too good not to bounce back. He's too nasty not to bounce back. The weirdest thing about Tanner Scott's year last year is that he this is so fucking annoying. He had his best walk rate ever. 7.2% walks, that's by far the best he's ever done. You would think when you have great stuff and you throw strikes, you would think you do better. But that wasn't the case. He threw too many strikes. He was tipping. Something wasn't the same. So, I mean, he still had 99th percentile chase. I'm not going to doubt this guy. I think he'll be great. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. He'll be playing first base. Muncy will be when Freddie's deal expires. I mean, I think Freddie said he wants to play 4 more years. So we'll see. Showed up late. I don't know if we talk about it. We're expecting a big bounce back from Mookie. Yeah, we're expecting it somewhat. There's a little bit of concern with the some of the physical stuff, sprint speed, bat speed, yada yada. But overall, there was a lot of good stuff in the profile still, and it's Mookie. It's Mookie. I'm not going to doubt him. Diaz wants to win. Mets suck. Okay. Will you do a live stream party for USA game in WBC? Well, I'm going to be doing everyday streams during WBC for sure, whether I'm playing in it or not. So I don't know if it'll be live during their games, unless I'm like in the hotel or something and alone and we want to stream then. But we'll have plenty of coverage on that. If you had to bet your life savings on it, are you putting it on the Dodgers or the field? Probably the field, just because 29 versus 1 seems pretty good. There were several videos on Reddit showing that Tanner was definitely tipping his pitches. Yeah. All right, so that's the Dodgers. Those are my little predictions. Obviously, I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win the division pretty easily. So interesting here, Fangraphs projections has the Giants as the next best team in this league. So we're actually going to talk about the Giants now. Giants, we're not going to get to the Padres yet. We'll get to the Giants now. Giants, Tony Vitello is in. They have a very interesting coaching staff. Tons of people that I've come across over the years. We're starting to like what they've done a little bit more, especially offensively. They have a very interesting position player group. It's not Dodger quality, obviously, but it's interesting as fuck. Luis Ariz, who we were dying to see where he was going to be. Now, I think he's going to be a disaster at second base more than likely. But offensively, he's going to be getting hits. He's going to be getting on base. In a perfect world, he's pretty well built for that ballpark. A lot of singles out there, a lot of hits out there. And then they finally have some thump behind that. Devers, first full season there. Adames, second full season there. Chappie. Jung-Hoo Lee, we're waiting to see the first really full good Jung-Hoo Lee year. He's similar to Ariz, contact hitter. Helio Ramos, who was an all-star as a rookie. Bader, who's going to really cover them up big time in center, and he was also sneaky pretty damn good. Actually at the plate last year, flirting with that 800 OPS. Eldridge is the big wild card with this team. Huge pedigree prospect, a lot of swing and miss. The range of outcomes are anywhere from, Aaron Judge-ish to Joey Gallo-ish to Spencer Jones-ish. Like, we don't know. We don't know yet, but all of it's on the table. He's only 21 years old. He's a mountain of a man, so he's going to be intriguing. Patrick Bailey is a defensive whiz. So they have a couple of defensive whizzes in Bader and Bailey, and even Adames has been pretty damn good at short, and Matt Chapman at third. After that, it's bad. Devers is going to be bad. Ariz is going to be bad. Jung-Hoo Lee has actually been a little disappointing on defensively. I believe Helio Ramos has been disappointing defensively. Yeah, really bad. So that's a big important reason that Bader's there. Bader's going to have to patrol a lot of that gap as well. So yeah, they have some defensive issues, but they have some good defenders, obviously. For me, it's more that I think their pitching staff is not a San Francisco Giants pitching staff. It's gotten a little bit better with the signings of Molly and Hauser. I see Scherzer landing here at some point. I would like to see them pick up one of those big 3 pitchers we were talking about, and then maybe I could get more excited for this team. I could definitely project them for the postseason. But for me, I don't necessarily have them ahead of the Padres or the Diamondbacks. It's pretty close, but I'm not sold on this bullpen. Um, I've been looking into this bullpen a lot lately for a number of reasons, and it's not great. They have some teams. They have some guys, Walker, Miller with some velo, Peguero, velo. We love Jose Buto from his time with the Mets, but I don't know. It's kind of slapped together. There's not a lot of certainty in here. Dart Zemo says this bullpen is a bottom 3 at best in baseball, so I kind of feel that way. It's going to be interesting. It's not even that the defense as a whole is bad. It's just incredibly bad. Some places and really, it's incredible in some places, bad in others. That's what I was just saying. It's weird some places. Yeah, I think Bailey's currently the best defensive catcher. I know my Blue Jays people will say Kirk is there too, but Bailey's awesome. All right, here we go. Eldridge's exit velocity between A, AAA, MLB was only behind O'Neal, Cruz, and Judge in all pro baseball. Hard hit rate around 63. Could be a sneaky rookie of the year candidate if he plays enough. So, again, Eldridge is the X factor with this offense. Right now, he's penciled in to be the DH, 8-hole hitter, 21 years old. Huge prospect. We looked at him. We looked at him recently. And it's similar to, and he got a cup of coffee last year. And it's similar to a lot of these power prospects. Like it's huge exit velocities. It's actually pretty good statistics, but it's just also a ton of strikeouts. So anyway, last year this is what he did. He banged between all the teams 260, 333 on base, 510 slug. So 843 OPS in the minors, 21 doubles, 25 home runs, huge exit velocities, as we've talked about, 127 Ks. In the big leagues, he did nothing. It was a short sample, only 28 at-bats. He did walk, so one thing he did. But he didn't get any hits, a couple hits. It's going to be interesting to see. He's so big. And when you're so big at the plate, like a Judge, yeah, I mean, there's some advantage to it, but also some major disadvantage to it. The strike zone's bigger. There's just certain things you can't do with those long arms. You can't cover in as well, typically. There's a little bit of a handicap there, so I'm curious to see how that works out. But Eldridge is, to me, he's the X factor with this offense, big time. And then what they get out of a rise, too. So we'll have to see. I think I saw something that after Snell, Posey isn't fond of opt-outs and deals, which could be holding them down in terms of free agents. Yeah, maybe. SF definitely has an arm. Could be arm need. Could be Littell. I'm with you on that. Buto's more than all right, but he's kind of like your swing man, and then use him like 2 innings, leverage in a certain game because he's tough as nails and that sort of thing. But you'd like to have a more lockdown core of late inning relievers than they have. Kopech is an interesting free agent that's out there as well. Thanks for mentioning this guy, Brian. Great stuff. Young age, injuries. Surprised he's not signed yet. We're going to do over and under performers here in a sec. Sometimes feels like pitch tipping is the first excuse, but it's easy to conceptualize without much thought. Do you think the prevalence of tipping is overstated? I don't, because I know how hard teams look at the tipping stuff. And it blew my mind when I went to some of the bigger teams, the more prepared teams, how much they really had on the opponent. Tipping was a big part of that, whether it's hitting pitches at the plate, but also stealing, like how to steal off guys. All that is so studied. So I understand why you could think it's not a big thing, but I think it is a big thing. I think tipping's a big thing. Oh, there it is. Padres signed Walker Buehler minor league deal. So when we get to the Padres, we'll discuss Walker Buehler now that he's part of that. All right, so we're going to look at my overperformer, underperformers this year. So I'm gonna go with Adrian Hauser as my overperformer. He was really good last year. The big thing with him was the velo came back. Now Xwob is not going to like him because he's a contact pitcher, but you'll see that the velo really came back. It's a huge ground ball rate, 94.4 on the sinker last year. He's got a great sinker. He's got a good idea out there, good feel. I love him in this ballpark. I just feel like he's going to have a big year. Most of his ground balls, right on right, are going to go to the left side, which is where the better defenders are. Where's the velo difference? Yeah, 2024, 92.5, 2025, 94.4. So provided that the velo is similar to what he showed last year, I'm feeling pretty good about House. Adrian Hauser, David's turn's never wrong, just early. Okay. I read an interesting article in Baseball Perspective from a former Marlins free agent person saying Arise is not as bad defensively as some publicly available metrics think. Okay. That's what their privately available metrics think, so we'll see. Okay, in terms of underperforming this team. Sorry, I'm trying to get rid of that. Underperformers. Who do I think is going to have a tough go? I think the guy for me is Arise. And it's not even like it's going to be that bad, but I do think his defense is going to struggle. I don't think he's going to add any more home runs. He might go through this whole year with like 5 homers, and then I think he's going to be the same free agent again, and it's going to be disappointing again. And I like his skill set, but I'm just going to say I think it's Arise. That's my pick. Arise is my pick to regress a little bit. I would pick Ryan Walker, says Dart Zemo. Ryan Walker was bad last year, but he's so nasty that I'd be surprised if he was bad again. I'd be surprised. All right. Who's the next team on the Fangraphs? Shimma dibba 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 dig ding ding dong. Where do I find this? I lost everything that I was doing. Projections. What am I doing here? Damn it. There we go. All right. Next up, Diamondbacks. They have them finishing 1 game behind the Giants at 81 and 81. Okay. So we've looked at the Diamondbacks quite a bit on this channel recently. And we do like some of the stuff they've done lately because once they made the decision not to trade Marte and to kind of go for it, they've been bottom feeding, but at least it's some intriguing guys. I mean, Nolan has the upside. At least one thing you know he's going to do, he's going to improve their defense at third. Santana, same thing, defense at first and on-base percentage. Obviously, both of those guys are older. There really ain't no telling what's going to happen there. And now Corbin Carroll's hurt. We'll see when he comes back to start the season. But you do have to like the big 3, Perdomo, Marte, Carroll. Some of their young guys, and then on the mound, now that they have Gallen back, at least we know what this is going to look like. They have 6 pitchers here, so a couple of them will pop, and I think they'll be in the mix. I don't have them above the Giants. Maybe I'm a little bit in the minority here, but I think the Giants. It's close. It's close. They have a better pitching staff in a way, but then like Cade Stroud's an interesting guy they got in the trade. I don't believe in Seawald anymore. Their bullpen's bad. Never mind. Time out. I'm not high on this team at all. Their bullpen's bad. Offensively, yeah. They're pretty good offensively, I think. Really driven by those top 3. Pitching-wise, I expect Gallen to have a big year. I'm telling you right now, I'm picking Gallen to be my guy to have a big year because he's so motivated, and I think he comes back. But I don't know. How are you guys feeling about the Diamondbacks? Where do you think they finish up? I'm not that big on them. I'm not that big on them at all. Looking at it, I think Gallen's my guy. D-backs 500 ball club, not too shabby. Diamondbacks had a meh offseason. Their biggest problem was their bullpen kept blowing games. That's the thing. Their bullpen stinks. Ginkel, Seawald, Thompson, Stroud, Jameson, Garcia, Clark. This is a bottom of the barrel bullpen, 100%. How did Ginkel play last year? I did think Ginkel was gross in that run to the World Series. Yeah, 7.36 ERA last year in 29 games. He was really good the previous 2 years. He's got a good breaking ball, but he needs to get healthy and back out there. Puck coming back will be big. He'll be back relatively soon, I believe, into the season. Right? Where's Puck? Why is he not listed here at all? Will Puck be back? I'm with you, Norm. I'm not that high on this team right now. I do think Torrey's a good manager, but I don't think they're great. Now looking at it, I really don't like their pitching staff. They're gonna get mollywopped at home. I don't think it's great. I would say the D-backs undoubtedly got worse, especially if Gallen is bad again. So I'm picking Gallen to be good, but mainly that's like I just like him as a player, and I think he's motivated right now. Everything lines up for him to be definitely better than he was last year. I know we looked at his Stuff Plus and it was bad. In terms of players that I think are going to disappoint, it's kind of probably not that cool to do this, but I'm going to do Geraldo Perdomo because his season last year, I don't think he can reproduce that. Good player, but I don't think he can reproduce that personally. I mean, only 7th percentile bat speed. I just don't think the power will be there. Obviously, he controls the zone like a champ, and he's a really good all-around player. Base runner, fielder, just coming into his own. And the on-base percentage has been great his whole career. But I think that the power is going to come back to earth. You just don't see a lot of home runs with 7th percentile bat speed. I know he plays in Arizona, but if he hits 10 home runs instead, are we as high on him? I mean, we're high on him, but are we as high? I don't know. So, yeah, I'm high on Gallen. I'm down on Perdomo. They went opposites last year. I'm saying that's flipping back. I mean, he had 7 WAR last year, which is insane. So you would think even if he's shitty, he's a really good player. Shitty for him is still really good with that on base percentage. But again, I don't know. I don't know if he's this dude. I don't think he's a 20 home run hitter. I guess we'll find out. Still put up 3.5 WAR the year before in only 98 games though. So the on base percentage is real. I'm probably in the minority there. Let's see what we got here. They would be fine if they could use the Erod money on literally any other pitcher. He's been such a disaster since he's been there. I'm not going to lie. I probably could have told you that. He's like such a good command guy. But when I played with him in Boston, I've seen some things. I like him, but I've seen some things that made me think, I don't know if I'd pay this guy. Seawald had a great entrance with the Mets. Do I want to know by Arctic Monkeys? That's sick. He was a shitty Met, though. I think he has like some sort of record for like long. First of all, I don't like him that much because, and I don't know him. 2 reasons, though. Number one, he did some really obnoxious stuff after getting a save against the Mets and like acted like the Mets didn't give him any opportunities when he had like tons of opportunities with the Mets. So he wasn't reading the room very well there. And then he made some mean comments to a teammate a couple years ago, telling him like, oh, well, you're definitely getting non-tendered after this year or something when he had no idea what he was talking about. So I just feel like he might be a little bit of a know-it-all. And I don't think he's that good. So, anyway, that's my thought on that. I love Arctic Monkeys, though. And maybe he's a good dude, but in my mind, he was an enemy. So, whatever. What else we got here? Agree on Perdomo. Thank you, Cobra. Power down. Can't predict anyone for 720 plate appearances again. Can Corbin Carroll go 50-50? He could if he's fully healthy, but I don't know, 50 home runs. 40-40. If everything broke perfectly. But he's got the hamate now, so I don't know. I don't know. Didn't Eck have to stick up for Erod on the plane? No, it was so crazy. The Eck thing was crazy because I wasn't there, but the story goes, Eck was watching Erod pitch poorly in a rehab game or got the report from the rehab game or something, and David Price was watching the TV in the clubhouse. And apparently Eck was like, ooh, like he saw his stat line. He was like, yuck, disgusting, terrible. Like he gave it like a crappy review. And then Price wasn't having it that day. So he like literally like embarrassed Eck in front of the whole team on the plane. Had Eckersley get up and was like, this guy thinks that the game's easy. He's a Hall of Famer and all this stuff. I mean, look, I think it was extremely awkward from everything I've heard. And I would have never done that. but that's kind of what happened there. I don't think he was defending Erod. I think it was just like David Price got pissed at Eckersley. Anyway. The old hamate bone. Gotta watch out. Love the do you know who I am mindset. So those are my picks for the D-backs. Like, I'm not that big on them. I actually think they might be fourth. They'll be competitive. They'll be interesting, and they do have great management. I think Dave McKay is incredible. First base coach. Torey Lovello, great manager. I think Mike Hazen's even a pretty good GM. But there's no excuse for this team not to be a powerhouse in my mind. I think their owner kind of holds them back. Half the league lives in Arizona. They'd all love to play at home. Don't think that doesn't play into every single free agent decision. I even think about it with like a guy like Bregman. He signs with the Cubs. He already lives in Arizona. Now he just lives at home and goes. He doesn't have to go to freaking Fort Myers. The place stinks. No offense, Florida people, but West Coast of Florida people. That place stinks. But anyway, just stay at home. And if it's Arizona, you stay there the whole time. So, I don't know. I think it all plays in. They should be a powerhouse. I think Gallen needs to recapture his velo. He's not really going to recapture it too much, but I just think he had some bad batted ball luck. He needs that curveball to land better. Apparently, by Stuff Plus, when we looked at it the other day, it wasn't very good. But I think Gallen really knows how to pitch, and I think he'll be good and durable. Let's see here. Dennis Eckersley. That's what I was talking about. Dennis Eckersley, Hall of Famer. He was a broadcaster for the Red Sox, too. Was West Coast or East Coast better for Florida spring training? Well, generally East, especially if you're anywhere near Jupiter. So, like any of those teams, the Mets, Cardinals, Marlins, Astros, Nationals, those are all good spots. And if you're going to be on the other coast, you'd want to be in either Tampa or Clearwater, probably. Other than that, it's pretty bad. Lakeland bad, Port Charlotte bad, Fort Myers bad. So Sarasota's pretty good, actually. Sarasota would be a good one on the West Coast, in my opinion. But they still can't compete with Arizona. Those places are the best. Allen has been hit hard for years and only came to collect last year. All right. We'll see. It's going to be intriguing. I like Allen. I think he's going to bounce back. I really do. How's the D-back stadium feel in-game? Looks awfully dark on the tube. I'd say it's a little dark in there. Feels like you're in a aircraft hangar. An old, rusted, beaten in the sun aircraft hangar. I have some pretty good pictures from in there because I've been on the catwalk up there with my camera back in the day. But you can just see all the metal just melting from the ridiculously hot summers. Good clubhouse, kind of old now, but Bob Doty is the visiting clubhouse guy. They have guys that have been there forever, so they have the same meal every single year. Every single time you go there, it's the same layout. Getaway day is sushi and steak every time. I don't know. I like playing in Arizona, but that field, yeah, a little dark. Sometimes the outfield grass is really sparse. They used to have the landing strip down, which I liked. Bullpens kind of suck. Can't really see much. I used to kind of hide in the back. You can go back way. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff to talk about there, but it's in the bottom half of the stadiums for me. The Chase Field turf looks even more fake than most turf. It's just spotty out there. I think they might have the turf now, but at one point it was just like they'd have these lamps on there trying to grow grass overnight. It was crazy. Dave McKay, first Canadian to play for the Jays. That's awesome. He was the man. All right, we're up to the Pods. So, Padres are interesting. They have been the other team in this division for a while now. They are projected fourth, according to Fangraphs. But I think talent-wise, they probably have the next best team next to the Dodgers, at least in my mind. Tatis, Merrill, Machado, Laureano, Sheets, Bogarts, Cronenworth, Andujar, Fermin. That's pretty dang talented. I know they struggled hitting home runs last year. I bet you that flips a little bit this year. Campusano, Castellanos, who we don't know what we're getting out of him. Sung Mung Song, which we don't know what we're getting out of him. Bryce Johnson, we don't know what we're getting out of him. So a very intriguing mystery little bench. On the rotation, Michael King, who I think has a chance to really take the big time leap this year and then opt out and break the bank as a very high end starter. I had him really high up. I had him ahead of Cease. Pavetta, who also was great last year, I expect him to duplicate that. Musgrove coming back is a big deal. We'll see how he is. Vasquez and Marquez, it's kind of not what you want at the back end, but we'll see. They have some other arms. I know they have Griffin Canning, who's going to be in camp. Darvish isn't pitching anymore. Johnny Brito, will he get healthy? Internal brace. When did he get that? April. So Johnny Brito will be a factor this year again. There were some other guys that I'm forgetting here. JP Sears, that's what I was forgetting. Matt Waldron, now they have Walker Buehler. Tristan McKenzie's an NRI with them. Marco Gonzalez. I mean, they have plenty of like 4 or 5 starter depth types, but they really need King, Pavetta, and Musgrove to carry this rotation. Really, really bad. Really, really badly. But I take their rotation over the Diamondbacks. Easy. And Giants, I think it's pretty close. I mean, Logan Webb's the best pitcher in that group, but Michael King could be close to that at some point. Pavetta, Robbie Ray. I mean, Pavetta might have him beat out right now. Then you look at the bullpen, and the bullpen's outstanding. The top 3 are truly incredible. Miller might be the best reliever in the game. Morihone had the highest FIP-based WAR, Fangraphs WAR in the game last year out of the pen. He's tremendous and versatile. Estrada, gross. Then they have like the Yuki Matsuis and the Wandy Peraltas, and if they can get Jason Adam back, then it goes to another level. So I think they're the second best team in this division. I would expect them to come in second in this division, personally. Things could fall apart. They do have the new manager, Craig Stammen. There's a lot of things going on. But I still believe in the talent of this team. Okay, now who is going to take the leap forward this year? I'm going to say it's Jackson Merrill. I mean, he's just so talented. Now he's getting into the part of his career now where he's like an established guy, but he hasn't really hit his ceiling yet. Damn, you're hungry? What do you want, Brady? Cheese sticks? Again? Domino's? You can order that if you want. I'll pick it up from the front door. I just think Jackson Merrill hasn't reached his ceiling yet. I think he's going to go over 30 home runs and really reach his potential this year. So, I mean, he's 22 years old. He already does a lot of things really well. I think he's a superstar. But eventually, if you're a superstar, you have to put up superstar numbers. And I think he starts young. I think he starts this year. So, Jackson Merrill is my pick to click for the Padres this year. My pick to take a step back on the Padres or to disappoint somewhat on the Padres. Bogarts is the easy pick. Just because, I mean, I know he played a little better last year, but I don't really want to pick Xander. I'm going to say Musgrove, coming back off Tommy John, put a little too much pressure on himself. We'll see. I'm a Musgrove fan for sure, but maybe he'll be a little bit less effective than we're accustomed to seeing. It's been a while since he's been fully doing the whole thing. So I'm going to pick Joe. I know that's a little crazy, but that's where I'm going with it. Bogarts was cooking in the second half. His data was really strong. That's why I couldn't really pick him. Laureano was almost guaranteed to regress, as well as Andujar. But you won't really notice it as much if they just play a little bit below their average. Honestly, the Padres only show up when they face the Dodgers, like those games of the World Series to them. They need to move away from that mentality. I don't think it's them. I think it's just like the ballpark's so much more electric when they play the Dodgers. I think they want to win every game, but it's just a different environment when that team's around. Padres got stars and scrubs, no depth. I mean, they have a little bit of depth. We just went through some of the bullpen guys. I mean, some of the starting depth they have. I do agree offensively it's stars and scrubs, though, so they need their stars to hit. Like if Machado starts to decline really quickly here, that would be a problem, like a big problem. And I agree with you guys. Laureano should probably regress somewhat, and Andujar, those guys are almost guaranteed to regress. You would think Cronenworth would bounce back, but I don't know. The Padres' problem, honestly, is that AJ Preller is aggressive in trades, which is good, but he's also a good drafter. So they produce for others. Just look at the Padres' 2021 draft class or Soto trade. Yeah, they have had a ton of really good drafting, international signs over the years. They've traded a lot of them away, but I mean, yeah, there's no doubt Preller is really good at talent evaluation. This is a funny comment. Okay, baby. Yeah, we saw this, Maya. Walker's in the fold, minor league deal. He'll compete for the back end of this rotation. Not a bad spot to sign when you're looking to compete. There's some vulnerability here. Vasquez, Marquez, JP Sears, but there's some vulnerability there. And if not, you can go in the bullpen. So Matt Waldron wins this year. He's my dark horse. We do play down to our opponents. I feel like most teams feel this way, but I also do agree with you that most fans feel like their team plays down to the opponents. But I will say that the best teams I've been on regular season win the games you're supposed to win. There's no doubt about that. Like if you want to have a great record, you got to beat the teams that you're better than. It's really it's simple when it comes down to that. Baseball and Coffee needs a Domino sponsorship. They're accounting for Musgrove coming off Tommy John to be their third pitcher. I know they really are. That's why I picked Musgrove, because I just think it's a big ask. It's a big ask. I'm a Dodgers fan. Trust me, the Padres behave like it's the playoffs. They come in geeked. I think that's just like the environment that the Dodgers fans have created, Norm. Like it's just you guys are the big bad wolf, so everybody gets excited to face you guys. Oh, I don't have Twitter, or X or whatever, so I didn't see any of this, but I've been talking to stock a little bit. So I don't think this was Preller. I think this was Seidler, Peter Seidler, the owner. And I remember making the comment that he must have had a terminal illness to make all these signings in the San Diego market, and then sure enough he did. And then I felt terrible that I had said that, but I was just like, you never see the Padres spending like that, and then they were all of a sudden. I mean, they offered Judge more money than the Yankees too, so they were going for it. Baseball and pizza. An Italian sponsored by Domino's. You can't do that. That's true. Good point. So I'm curious to see what type of shape Herman shows up in, and how he looks. Got to be a very motivated player. He's finally out of Coors, got a chance to show what he can do, but he's got to be healthy. It's got to be the young Herman Marquez, because the Herman Marquez he is now, or has been the last 2 years, is not the young Herman Marquez. So we'll see. I mean, it's funny that you guys have such vitriol for each other, the Dodgers and the Padres fans, because is this sort of an? I mean, I know it's always been sort of a thing, but I don't know. It's like Red Sox Yankees, but not quite. But it's interesting to me. I love it. I love it. I love San Diego. Literally the best place ever to go. I love going there so much. My off days in San Diego were the best. Go up to La Jolla, do some things. It's one thing I miss not being in the game right now. Is just going on these road trips and going to all my spots, walking around, getting breakfast. Newport Beach. We go there when we play the Angels. All right, we'll do this for 1 second. How do I feel about Toronto's recently renovated stadium? It's so much better. Unbelievable fan experience now. Way better. Looks better. Clubhouse is better. Everything about it is better, but it's still the Sky Dome, and I love that. and it'll always be the Sky Dome to me. Do players care about these fan rivalries too, or is it just for show? I think they get swept up in it too, for sure. 100%. 100%. But I mean, yeah, I mean, the fan stuff is interesting, you know? As an outsider, the Padres Dodgers best rivalry, and I love the Twitter fans getting into it. I think it's great. I mean, obviously the Dodgers have the Giants as a rival too, but it's cool. Like, because I mean, when you could just drive up LA, San Diego, you just drive through Orange County, you're there. So the proximity, and also like just like all of California, especially Southern California, has that laid back vibe to it. But like it gets more laid back the more south you go. By the time you get to San Diego, it's just like, I mean, Bill Walton is from San Diego. You know what I mean? So it's just so chill. And then I feel like those guys, you know, it's like LA feels like it's more hostile to those people. So it's just an interesting culture dynamic there, even though they're both part of California. Southern California, there's an interesting culture dynamic between them, which I think is great. I love all that stuff. What else we got here? Padres fans are loud. Dodgers fans are also loud, but it's both sides whining. But once Giants come back to being good, Dodgers fans will shift. That's true because that's a real rivalry. Giants Dodgers is like that's long standing. This I don't care about you. Olympics is just exhausting. Just say we're rivals and that's sports. It's fun. Yeah. Okay. What else we got here? Sky Dome forever. Facts. It's a great vibe at the ballpark. One of the best ballparks to go to, Petco. I highly recommend it. A trip to San Diego, great trip. Go walk, see all the ships, go through the gas lamp, hit up the field. You can walk everywhere. It's amazing. Perfect weather every day. 10:59 to 11:09 delivery ETA in a school night. Did you pay for the faster delivery, Brett? What is going on? Do you have a goal in your mind in terms of my future in baseball? So I'll be doing broadcasting this year. I'll be doing pre and post with the Yankees, Yes Network, waiting on some national stuff. I'll let you know when that comes through. We'll be doing our show. Have other things in the works too. But yeah, long term, I definitely have the competitive itch. I think everybody that's watched the show has seen that. I want to manage. I want a Pobo. I want one of those spots. So that's just I won't stop until I get it. And even then, got to grind through that and become a great one. So we'll see. How much does team chemistry really affect a great team? It's a big factor. I'm not going to minimize it. It could be a chicken or the egg thing sometimes, no doubt about that. Sometimes a team doesn't come together until they realize they're good. Sometimes a team comes together and then that kind of helps them become good. But each situation is unique. But if you have bad seeds, it's kind of hard to win unless your bad seeds are just incredible players. All right, what else we got? Does Danny Coulomb actually not have a major league market? I mean, he probably would have signed it already if he did, but I don't know. I don't have any. I don't have any insight to that. Giants don't really live up to their team name anymore. They're more like the mediocres. Well, lately they have been incredibly mediocre for a while. How do I feel about Posey as Pobo? I mean, look, I don't have a lot of insight into the relationship with ownership, what his methodology is for his decision making. But I will say, competing against Buster over the years, nothing but respect for him as a person, but also as a competitor and as a baseball mind. Obviously, he's a part of a lot of winning, so I'm not going to doubt Buster Posey, but we'll see. Priority delivery is a scam. It doesn't exist. What's crazy though is if you don't do it, then the guy will pick up 3 other deliveries, and depending on the order of drop off, it could be an hour later. So whatever. All right, let me come down here a little bit. Yeah, well, I had to join the Yankees when SNY's got Gary, Keith, and Ron in the booth. They're not going anywhere. And then obviously Todd and Gary Apple aren't going anywhere in pre or post either. So I could do baseball night in America or whatever it's called, baseball in New York, with Sal Licata and those guys, but it's not exactly the same as doing pre and post game for a team that I played for. So anyway, I remember being at Sky Dome in 90. I was second row right field. Canseco was huge to me at 10. Todd Stoudemire, second pitch of the game, goes high and hard, knocking Ricky on his butt. Bench is clear. I love that. Oh, it's so sick. Damn, did you not eat the Chinese food, Brett? It's crazy. Oh, this is where Brett's favorite road trips were, Miami and Boston. Yeah, we had a good time in those places. I think you like coming to Chicago too, right? Or LA? Yeah, Mets broadcast is too goated. What can you do? This is just a funny comment. Yeah, I mean, I got offered a few on-field jobs this year and other jobs, but nothing that I was willing to do yet. I think I have to go down this broadcasting path until I can interview for something that is worthy of my time and expertise. So we'll see. But teams are always going to try to bring in talent, in lesser roles. So we'll see. Boston was my favorite ballpark experience as a fan. Boston, Chicago, LA, those are really great. Yeah, I feel like we've been to Komodo, right? I think we've eaten there. I mean, who knows down the line? I have a good relationship with Steve and Alex, and I love those people. So we'll get down. We'll go down the line. We'll go down the line. All right. So our last team is obviously the Rock Show. They have made some moves. They have done some things, but they are still projected for 96 losses this season. This would actually be a major come up if this is their final result. Not 100 losses, only a negative 152 run differential when they were literally at like negative 400 last year, some all-time record. But I don't know. I'm going to be watching more Rockies this year for sure. I'm excited about them because they did some different things. They have different management. And I love the Rockies. They're in my heart forever. But obviously this is a bad team for right now in Major League Baseball. Tovar, Moniak, Goodman, Beck, Johnston, Doyle, Castro, McCarthy, Julian. I mean, they're trying some things. They're trying some different profiles to see how it plays because you have to conquer the cores thing. I think Tovar is a really good player. I'm a big believer in Brenton Doyle as well. So those two guys for sure those guys are a little special to me, and some of their physical abilities and what they can bring as complete ball players. But they've also been a little inconsistent at times. So we'll see. They're always going to have a really young bench. And then here's the rotation. This is the one thing that they really did a lot too. So this is going to be interesting to watch. Freeland, Lorenzen, Quintana, Dolander, and Sugano. Now, I told you I think it's going to go really bad probably for Sugano and maybe my guy Q as well. But, I mean, at least they have 4 adults and Dolander in this rotation, and Dolander's electric, and we saw his numbers on the road. He needs to figure out cores a little bit, and maybe some new people can help him there. But at least the rotation's more representative. It's big league quality at least. There's a lot of service time out there. I mean, the top 3 guys have 8 years, almost 9 years, then almost 11 years, and then over 13 years. So that's pretty freaking awesome. Not to mention Sugano, who's been a pro forever in Japan. So they have some real service time in the rotation, finally. And, we love the Reds. We love the Rockies. Do the Rockies finish with a lower run differential than the Dodgers' positive run differential? I think it did last year. I think it was that bad. Oh, here's a random Dart Zemo. Did I know that I am one of 8 pitchers ever to have a 0 ERA against the Reds in Great American Ballpark with at least 10 innings? Paul Skeens and Billy Wagner are also on the list. It's weird because I didn't like the mound and I didn't like playing there at all. But you're right, I did have some good luck there. I remember I came in one time and got a double play on the first pitch I threw. And it was like one of those one pitch wins. I threw one pitch, got a double play, and somehow we came back and won after that. And I was like, man, that was some lucky ass shit. But anyway, yeah, Rockies run differential last year, negative 424. My God. So, I mean, I talked with the whole organization. I talked with the owner and a lot of people. So, we'll see. We'll see if they take any advice. Who knows? Who knows? Love the Blue Jays. Projections don't factor players' drive factor. Is that what you're throwing down, Brett? Yeah, 27 likes. What are we doing, guys? Come on. We got to boost this show a little bit. I've been stuck at the same subs forever. I'm assuming when we get back to the games and I can start pumping out my watching videos of all the cool stuff, we'll attract some people. But, man, I thought we were going to do a little better than that this offseason. It's okay. All right, what else we got here? The Rockies suck, but I like watching them on TV, and the stadium is awesome. Can't disagree with that. We used to be good. We used to be good, Ocean View Coffee Shop. We used to beat up on Yo Padres back in the day. Do I like the economics of the game as it is now for competitive structure? Would you shake it up? This is a tough question. This is a tough question. I do wish that there was a little more labor peace in general, just in a general thought, because I do think it would behoove the players and the owners to be on the same team so they could grow the sport together and grow the pie bigger. I do believe a little bit of what Boris was talking about the other day with the TV rights. It's a shame that we haven't gotten our ducks in line to have a much bigger TV deal and drive more revenue into the sport, because this is a very, very, very popular sport in this world. And I think that the game could be even bigger and more profitable, and that would benefit competition in a lot of ways. Now, in terms of the competition factor, sometimes there's an unintended consequences when you do things and you don't know how they're going to play out. Like when they do expansion and they do realignment, we don't know necessarily how it's going to look. But I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to try some things. I'm not afraid to try some new things. And yeah, I guess in a perfect world, of course, you'd like to have more parity, but I wouldn't do it in terms of payroll necessarily, like limiting the top half. I think for me, I'd be more into rewarding winning. Like if I was in charge, and I'd like to try completely random draft picks. Like it's not tied to your record at all. You don't get penalized at all for being good under my system. So I probably have to work out a lot of the kinks of that, but competitively, I don't like punishing people for trying, punishing teams for going for it. So I'm not like as big about. I think you want to have some parity, but like full parity to me is this mediocrity. I think this is true. And I'm not saying that you want to like tee up an easy dynasty either, but I love the dynamic of everybody going up against the Dodgers, right? Or when I was a Yankee fan growing up, everybody going up against the Yankees. There's something important like that. There's important that to me that's a big driver of interest. Like I tuned in a lot more to other sports when there was dynasties, like when the Pats were going for the perfect season, or the Warriors are going for the record, or like I mentioned the Heat, when the Heat had LeBron and all those people, I was more intrigued by that collection of talent. So in a way, I think that makes for a better product. But there's a line to thread there. I just wish that they could just like hash these things out and not have it become so insane the way it is, but it's insane. So I don't know what to say. Yes, I would be. I need late night cheese sticks, and I supported the local pizzeria this evening with our honest restaurant for dinner. I don't leave people out. Okay, Brady. People forget to subscribe. Well, if you're in the chat, you've subscribed because you have to be to talk. But if you're watching, please subscribe. Please. We need a salary floor. I don't believe in numbers. My wife says, Brian says, numbers are stupid. Projected numbers. I believe in actual numbers. Matt Cain in 2012 complained about the mound in Great American Ballpark. Yeah, it's just so flat. I think I'll show it again once we watch some games from Cincinnati this year. They need to force teams to use more revenue sharing on the players, not things the owners can claim depreciation on. Teams are way more profitable than they are on paper. Yeah, of course. I mean, baseball accounting, come on. Get out of here. They're hiding the ball all day long. Everybody knows that. That's not even debated. Not even debated. MLB should definitely hire you. I love it. Help us. So they do have some good broadcasters. I like Ryan Spielborgs and Drew Goodman, Jeff Houston. I feel like they're fine. They're pretty good. They're a fun team to listen to. Fans honestly don't care about parity, but they want the appearance of an equal opportunity. Football has 5-win teams all the time, but parity isn't talked about. Football's just so crazy. Football it's so easy to be a football fan. One game a week? Kidding me? You don't have any commitment. You don't even have to make any commitment to be a football fan. Baseball's a real commitment. I'd establish a rule that each team has to build their outreach in a community that supports them. Any new stadium plans have to include amenities. I agree with this. But we got super capitalism going on everywhere, and it's freaking shit up. Oh, I know. The people that are on here are the best. I just wanna I want more. I think we have good community going here, and we're gonna have so much good baseball to watch. We're almost to WBC. It's gonna be fantastic. But when the doorbell rings, that means the stream is over. I know, my love. I know. Did you see Marlins owner says he hasn't taken a profit since he bought the team? Yeah, okay. He's okay. The revenue sharing dollars say otherwise. Spilly goat. Fans want fairness, not parity. Football only one game a week, but 6 days of talking heads. I know you guys are diehards. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate you guys plugging me and doing everything. And it doesn't even really matter that much because I have so much fun watching it, especially when we get popping with the Dugout app and we're just switching between games and breaking things down. Like, I want to do that anyway, and you guys love baseball, and so that's the most important thing to me. All right, who are my picks to click with the Rockies this year? So I'm gonna stick with my guys that I just mentioned, Tovar or Doyle. They're the two guys with probably the most high upside. Now Doyle's an interesting one because he's so toolsy. He's unbelievable. So many tools, but he strikes out too much. But I mean, look at the range, the arm value, the arm strength, the sprint speed. And then on top of that, I'm actually stunned that he only has 20th percentile bat speed because you know this guy's a gym freak. But the previous year when he hit for the 23 home runs and the 763 OPS, he was one of the better all-around players in the big leagues. So I'm expecting him to get back to that level a little bit this year, do a few more things. And I just think he's such a high upside player. So him and Tovar, I'm kind of looking at. I know that's kind of whatever, but I like both of these players so much. I think Tovar's an excellent defender at short, really good player. He's dealt with some injuries. I think he comes back this next year and has a really good season, a la 24, maybe even a little bit better. I mean, he's only 24 years old. So I'm big on it. I'm big on Tovar. As for disappointments, yeah, I mean, I think it's the pitching. I mean, again, I like that they did this, but I'm expecting Sugano to lead the league in home runs allowed. So that's what I'm projecting is that Tomoyoki Sugano is going to lead the league in home runs allowed and hits in general. It's going to be a real rough go. And I've always enjoyed Sugano. I've been a fan of him since WBC when they were going up against USA 2 WBCs ago. I thought he was pretty impressive. But I mean, yeah, he just doesn't get any whiff. I mean, 7th percentile whiff, 6th percentile K, 4th percentile barrel at cores. Good luck. Not going to be great. So that's my pick to struggle is Sugano. So that's it for the West. If I had to project them right now, I would say Dodgers, Padres, actually exactly the same way they finished last year. Dodgers, Padres, Giants, Diamondbacks, Rockies. I don't really see it going any other way. Now, I do think those middle three teams, Padres, Giants, Diamondbacks, they're all going to be fairly competitive, and we'll see. But that's my NL West. That is my NL West. Pretty straightforward division, I think. What else we got here? Football, 9 repeats since 1966. Baseball, only 6 in that time. Oh, I love this. When we found out that Corbin was hurt and we were deciding, they showed the list of players that were potentially being picked or could be selected for USA. I wanted either Quan or Roman. And I think Quan probably deserved it the most. He's the most tenured guy. He would have been a great dynamic to have on the team, and I would have loved to watch him. Roman is the funnest one because he's kind of like the superstar that's getting the chance to play with the other superstars, the young superstar. Like him or Connor Griffin would have been great to be like a backup infielder on this team. Those types of guys, like the 1-1 prospects, the super prospects, the guys who have a chance to be MVP. And Roman's that guy. And I love Roman, so I think it's really cool for him that he gets to be around those guys and play. And he's just so talented, so it's awesome. I love that. My, no, I hate baseball. I'm watching for the tech support. You're funny. The dangerous thing when salaries become so high, you price out the fan base and becomes a corporate environment. Well, I think if your revenue is coming so strongly from the TV side, like if you have way more TV revenue, you can probably afford to keep ticket prices more reasonable. But I think now they're just bleeding you from every side. They probably bleed you from every side either way, but I do think if you created more revenue on the TV side, it might affect you less on the fan side. So I don't know. Maybe that's a pipe dream. WC will go nuts after the Olympics. I have been watching some of the Olympics. I watched a poor guy today in the slalom. He had qualified first, so he was the last guy to go in the slalom. The skier right in front of him from Switzerland won the gold, and he was from Norway. And he went to go win the gold, and he missed one of the gates, like the fifth gate, and he was so upset with himself that he hurled his ski poles into the forest, took his skis off, and just went for a walk and waited and had to go lay down in the snow and like collect himself out of the way of everybody. And I just can't imagine you're training for 4 years for 1 minute, and then it just all goes horribly wrong, like on the fifth gate on the slalom. But I love watching the Olympics. I'm big on all the traditional stuff because it gives me nostalgia watching the Olympics on TV when I was a kid with my grandma and my mom. Figure skating, bobsled, you name it, we watch it all. Skiing. So I think it's great. Oh, thank you, Miss Bradley Mack, and Mr. Bradley Mack. Sorry, I keep thinking Miss because my daughter's name is Bradley. What's the best pizza add-on? I'm like meat lovers and peppers, so I'd be like pepperoni, sausage, peppers. I like peppers. It's like the delivery man is watching your show, intentionally not delivering the order. Is it getting worse, Brett? It's crazy. ETA just keeps going up, up, up. Well, playoffs, they're always going to gorge you because playoffs, they know that you were desperate to get in the building. So it's insane. Increased revenue sharing, harsher soft cap penalties, soft floor, harsher draft pick penalties for big spenders will make a lot of people happy. Yeah. There's so much complexity. It also has to be done in a time frame, and there's a negotiation. And I feel like the lockout makes the one side really, really strong, leverage wise. It's just like I hate it so much. I really hope we have a freaking unbelievable baseball season this year, so we can just like come to our senses and like get a nice agreement and keep playing baseball the next year after that. So we'll see. Will Michaela Schifrin get the gold in slalom on Wednesday? She hasn't seemed as confident this year, Jared. I don't know. Vero says he will play left field. Love that. Yeah, he totally just walked off. Jared saw it too. He was done. He was done. He was done. I've been there before. I think one time, I'll give you an example. I was pitching for the Yankees, actually pitching for the Red Sox against the Yankees, tail end of 21. And I had that at bat versus Judge where it was like pop up in foul territory. Bobby Delbeck overran it, doesn't catch it. Had him struck out. Vasquez dropped it in the transfer. Joe West said he dropped it as a foul tip. So I had him out twice. Didn't get him out. Then gave up a double. Then Stanton hit a ball that still hasn't landed. And it just felt like the universe hated me. So at the end of that game, like I just like went in the shower, full uniform shower. Then like didn't even dry off, just like sat in a corner for a while and collected myself. And then I remember I drove home. We had an off day the next day. I drove home all the way to New York through the night that night because I knew I was going to sleep anyway. Drove all the way home. So it wasn't the Olympics, but I've been pretty beat up over it at times too. The Olympics are so brutal like that. I was heartbroken for Ilya. Yeah, and then like with the quad god that we're talking about too as well with the he fell a little bit on his big figure skating performance. I mean, the whole thing's crazy. You train for so long and you're out there for a couple seconds, so it's really nuts. All right, what else we got here? There's so much here. Hope baseball doesn't expand anymore. I'm pretty sure they're going to. Reminds me when Bauer threw the wall over the center field wall. That was insane. Nope. Retired players are not given lifetime. You can opt into the deal, but you got to pay for it. So I have to make that decision soon. Obviously, we probably will. One of them, but okay, Jared. Do you want to watch it? You want to watch the home run I gave up to Stanton that I was talking about that still hasn't landed? Maybe we'll finish the night. We'll finish the night on that. Yankees, Red Sox. 2021. It would have been the end of the year in Boston. Yeah, it's this one. All right, so here's the at-bat versus Judge. Ball one. Yeah, so they bring me in second and third, one out to face Judge. Sinker on the hands. Didn't mean to do that, but we'll take it. Negative 19. This is when the sweeper was still good. Almost 84. Negative 19. And then here's a foul ball. This is 97. This is the foul pop-up. He could have had that. Doesn't catch it. Another fastball. 97. Slider. Oh, he could have clobbered that. Thank God he didn't. And then here's the one that wasn't. This is 98-5. See, he struck out, but then Joe West called that a foul ball. See? Look at this. This is on the transfer. Clearly on the transfer. I mean, I had him struck out twice. You can see it from the side view. It's clearly a transfer, but Joe West's blind ass didn't see it. And then, what happens next? Judge happens next. 118.4. Destroyed. And all the runs score. And I'm feeling pretty butthurt about it. And he's all fired up. Yeah, like, I'm real happy. They don't have any pitching angle on this. And then the next batter was Stanton. Oh no, I gotta find it again. And Stanton hits one out of sight. Here it is. This ball is murdered. It's funny now. In the moment, I can't tell you the excruciating pain that I felt inside my body as this ball left the ballpark. How hard he hit it? 116.4. Now, luckily, he's my friend, so even though he pimped it towards his own dugout and didn't try to show me up too much. So I'll give him respect for that. Here, watch Big G pimp this off me. See, he throws it back to the dugout. Doesn't make eye contact with me, so I appreciated that. And then I dosed Joey Gallo on the next pitch. So, anyway, that was my story about when I felt pretty bad. Full uniform shower is crazy. It's true. It's true. It's true. The quad god. When should we expect the expansion? I think it's coming in hot. I bet you by 2028, 2029, it'd be close. It'd be close by then. Baseball needs to add another team in the South. Nashville makes sense. This will be the third time on the stream that I've asked for it and you played it. Yeah. I think the ball's still going. Is the food here? Yeah, I'm not going to sleep because I'm still waiting for the pizza tonight. Oh, I don't even remember what I was thinking in this at-bat. It's so long ago. I think it was just like, I was just trying to outthink the guy and just try to be as nasty as I could. But I also had a good fastball at the time. You saw it. I was up to 98 there, which is rare for me. And my fourth team had different carry that year. So in a way, I was trying to go sinker sweeper early, and then finish him with a four seam. Because Judge is a little scoopy, and sometimes you can get above there, but I couldn't quite get him. He kept making just enough contact on it, spoiling. So anyway. Gotta say, I was not conflicted at this point. By this point, I was full on rooting for the Red Sox. I know that's tough for you, obviously. Fucking Joe West is a bunch of. Joe likely monetized this moment in a country song. Does the mental calculus of, well, those runs still would have scored with the Stanton home run make you feel better? I don't agree with that because I don't think he would have had a home run. If I strike out Judge there and then I have Stanton up with two, I'm not going right at him. Like I just went at him with the game was already over at that point. So I just thrown strikes and I was on tilt, mentally probably on tilt. But if I'm mentally still there thinking I'm going to wiggle out of it, I'm throwing borderline pitches. I'm not attacking Stanton. And I think it's a much different at bat. And yes, that was obliterated. Coolest non-baseball celeb you met who knew who you were? I mean, Jon Stewart, John Mayer, Tracy Morgan. I don't know. There's been a few throughout the years. Those ones just poked out in my head. Oh yeah, I didn't even care about backing up third. Yeah, you're right. How many full uniform showers were there in my career? Only like 3 or 4. I remember one in the minors. And then I had some where I did other crazy shit instead of like breaking shit or like just getting away from everybody or screaming. Who knows? There's always some crazy stuff. I don't remember. And then you remember, see, sometimes you just got to get the cobwebs out. Are we seeing 98 in the WBC? If I play in the WBC, I'll be thrilled with a 90. I'm going to go throw a bullpen tomorrow. We need this arm to cooperate. Do you remember the 8th inning of game 55? Yeah, it was the stupidest game ever. I gave up a home run to Will Smith. And then Jorge Lopez chucked his glove over. He gave up all my runs and then chucked his glove into the stands. I got kicked off the team the same day. So I remember all that. Least 3 favorite umpires? I mean, geez, it's pretty straightforward. CB Buckner, even though he's from Brooklyn, he's just not cool. I wish he was. Joe West and Angel Hernandez. It's all the same. Can I sleep on the plane? Yeah, I can sleep on the plane. Not much. Did I have much fun in Toronto exploring? Yep, always had fun in Toronto. I think we're going to wrap it up. Cheese sticks are here. All right, let's go arm. I wouldn't be throwing the if stuff out there if I was feeling great. So trust me, I want to play really bad. All right, Brett's right. Good night, everybody. This has been a fun stream. Thanks for hanging with me tonight. We did the NL West. We'll do AL West on Wednesday. Hopefully that'll be a day show. That should be a day show. So wish me luck tomorrow for my throwing. That should be great. I'm going to go get the cheese sticks from my wife. And that's about it. All right. Thanks so much, guys. You guys are the best. And good night, everybody. All right. Have a good one. See you later.